his compassion towards Nalakovar and Manigriv, even though it doesn't seem like it was a compassionate act to turn one into the tree. You may just imagine, get such a special blessing, turn into a tree. But he reveals the reason why he did so, why he cursed Nalakovar and Manigriv, because he explains in this verse, in Vedanyare Yata, that this is the last line of the verse, that without knowledge, without understanding, due to one's ignorance, one commits sinful activities just to please the body, and as a result goes into hell for a long, long time. And so just to prevent that, of course, we may argue that he already, condemned them to stay in very hellish conditions for I heard Radhanath Maharaj gave class once on that topic. He calculated they were standing like trees for 36,000+ years. So for 36,000 years they were, bounded by these wooden bodies of trees, even though they, maintained their human consciousness. But nevertheless, that was mercy from Narad Muni, because at the end they got the darshan of the Supreme Lord, and they became liberated. But if they would just go to hell, they would suffer in hell, then they would come back as animals, then they would gradually progress again to the human species, again commit sinful activities, and so it would never stop like that. So, of course Narad Muni gave them very bitter medicine, but it worked. He cured them from their ignorance forever and ever. So that's the mercy of a Vaishnava, like Narad Muni. And he's explaining why people commit sinful activities, because they want to satisfy the body, because they identify themselves with the body, but there is nothing special about this body, because after death the real nature of the body becomes revealed. It turns either into ashes or stew, or becomes eaten by worms. Yeah. It really depends which culture or which tradition the body belonged to. If it belonged to Hindu tradition, what they call it today, the body turns into ashes, because Vedic tradition is that body must be cremated, right? If it belongs to either Christian or Muslim tradition, they bury the body into the ground, and so worms have a nice feast in there. But there is one tradition, I'm not sure if it's like across the border Buddhist tradition, but at least one branch of Buddhists, they neither bury the body nor burn it, but rather they throw the body to be eaten by vultures and this kind of
Zoroastrian culture.
What's that?
Zoroastrian.
Oh, that's Zoroastrian. Okay, yeah. It's in there. They chop the body into pieces.
They just hang it upside down in a bed, so that vultures and everyone can have a feast on the body.
I saw a documentary that how the body was chopped into pieces. The guy with axe, he takes the body and he just chops part of hand and throws to the vultures, part of leg throws to the vultures, like that. And he keeps doing that until he chops the whole body into eatable pieces like that. So anyway, that's that's pretty revealing. Actually, if you see the body in its real glory, it acts to some extent as a wake-up call. I remember going to the cremation ground purposefully in Jagannath Puri. There is one very famous cremation ground just nearby our temple. It's called Svargadvar, gates to heavens. And what they do there, they just burn the bodies, and actually it's pretty busy because Jagannath Puri is kind of big town, and so people die all the time, and all the time the car is, another truck is coming or minibus is coming, and they download another body, and there is one man over there who overlooks the burning grounds, and he's apparently Shaivite with Shaivite tilak on his forehead, and he's like completely dressed in black, from black dhoti, black kurta, black chadar, everything's black. And so he's like in charge of this stuff. And just out of curiosity, I asked him once that, what does it cost to, cremate the body? And it was funny, so funny. He said, "Sir, if you pay me 300 rupees, I'll burn you anyone." I can burn you anyone, meaning that any size of the body, like that. But anyway, when you see the body, burning like that in front of your eyes, and you look at your own body, and you think, "Oh my God, it will happen to me one day also." That's quite a reality. That's quite a, what do you call it? Awakening call. And it is called smasana vairagya, that people see the cremation ground and they become repulsed for a while. After some time they forget about the whole thing, and they turn back to their sense gratification. Right? Luckily, we have positive alternative, which is higher taste of Krishna consciousness. We can realize who we really are spiritually. So that's why these things can coexist. Our detachment from the material world along with our attachment to serving Krishna. And it is explained why people, even at the expense of making others suffer in the process, they try to satisfy their body as much as they can. Anyone remembers what is the main reason mentioned in the verse? It is pride. So because of pride, people commit so many sinful activities. Just for this body, which, turns into some nasty substance. And it is foolish, of course. But because people don't realize that simple fact of life, that the body is temporary, and the best use of the human body is not sense gratification, but self-realization. And I remember in my childhood reading one Russian author. He's a classical author. His surname is Leskov. And that was either 17th or 18th century. And he wrote a short kind of anecdote